welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today, I would like to talk to you about another underrated film that you need to check out. You got to check out, and you have to check it out because it's a film you need to check out. Because it's a film I've been wanting to watch for quite some time now, and now it was available. It was available on Tubi, now it's not anymore. And this is the surreal satirical comedy film Dream Scenario by A24 starring Nicolas Cage, Joanne Nicholson, what's that guy who was up in Michael Cera's in it, and I forgot there was a guy who was on the Spider-Man movies. He played Dr. Connors. And this is a film that I think you really need to open-minded for. Because this is a very different, unique film. It has some fantasy elements into it. And it follows a professor who pretty much feels a little bit unfulfilled. And randomly, everybody around him that he knows, his students, his uh, uh, people that he knows, suddenly gets dreams of him around the same time. But not just him, everybody in the world, not everybody, there's people around the world that somehow has a dream about this specific person and he becomes a global phenomenon. However, fame comes with a price with this. And I can tell you right now, this is probably not one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. Like you have no idea where this story is going to go. And it has a very interesting premise. To be honest with you, I was on edge on this with this movie because you really didn't know because you don't know where the movie's going. You don't know how these dreams are happening. It's just a random fact of weird phenomena that a good chunk of people suddenly has a dream about this specific person. Now suddenly the dream may not make total sense, but regardless, Nick Cage's character is in the dream. And he or may not do anything in this dream, but the point is he's there. And he gets really taken aback and really loves the attention of this potential fame he's been given or suddenly is occurring in his life. And family kind of thinks it's going to his head. He doesn't feel like he's getting a lot of respect from his kids, his daughters, and things may get a little out of control when you become famous. It shows the height of, and there's nothing new about it. When you show a film about somebody becoming famous or works in the entertainment industry for one way or another, it doesn't even have to be in the entertainment industry. It has to do with the consequences of having fame. And do you really want the fame that impacts your life? And it can impact you in a very, very, very difficult way to adjust. Where you get random people who randomly just admire you for whatever reason because you feel bigger than them. There's a scene in the film where randomly Nick Cage and his wife in the film uh, randomly gets a visit from a fan who feels like, well, I wouldn't say necessarily a fan, but I will say this: this guy tries to go into his house and tries to murder the two, feeling like he has to do it because it doesn't really say, he doesn't really explain why, but you see the consequences of what fame can have on a person and what it can have on others. There's a good sequence in the film where not Michael Fassbender, Michael Sarah, who plays like some sort of producer who's trying to um, figure out a way to not producer, like some sort of talent agent who's trying to find a way to uh, expand on Nick Cage's role as Fame, and he's trying to market him in a way he thinks is best, but Nick Cage has a certain direction of of what he wants to be represented by, or what he wants to be known for. And Michael Cera's character doesn't feel that would be good enough appeal to get people attracted to what he's going for. He's known for suddenly being in this weird phenomenon of people randomly showing up in their dreams, but he wants to preach about something that has to do with some of the interests he has that has nothing to do with the fame whatsoever, but he wants to use the fame as a leverage to promote other things about him besides being in this dream. And you see the dilemma of how somehow fame can give people the impression of you, but it's not factuality of um what it is and what you're actually trying to look for in this fame. People want to see you as project you as what they want you as being famous. If you try to do something else, they may not gravitate towards that. And there's a unique twist that does occur into the film, um, where suddenly these dreams become, I wouldn't say deadly, but it gives people the wrong impression about Nick Cage's character, and his life just suddenly uh, becomes a disaster. Where it also shows the downfall of fame and somehow some sort of misinterpretation of an image of you can spell disastrous of your fame. Also ruin your life. You see that in detail with this movie, and you do feel bad for his character. I mean, you this character is really trying to find meaning in his life and find a bigger meaning upon himself, or what he thinks is best for himself. He also dives into a few temptations where he shouldn't have. There's a scene in here which I thought was hilarious, where he encounters one of the assistants supposed to help him out with this agency, and lesson learned: don't if someone invites you to their house and they had a dream they had, don't go to their house. That's what I've learned from that scene. Okay, because people have weird fantasies. Okay, and this was one I thought when it was revealed to me what this fantasy was, or what this person had of a dream about him. I was dying with laughter. This movie is unapologetically funny, and funny in some of the best ways possible, where it is unexpected, but it also has a lot of heart. Like the ending ends very heartwarming, but also sad in a way. Because again, you watch this character pretty much descend into failure. What this fame has on him, and the consequences for it. And the ending feels bittersweet. It's tragic, yes, but it's something where you feel when that lever is pulled and you just fall down in this hole, and there's no you can't you, there's no control of how you're gonna fall. You're just falling, and that's how it felt with this character. Some of it, I would say, well, some of it, I would say, was out of his control. Um, and it's very unfortunate, but the film I thought was just phenomenal. It's actually now one of my favorite Nick Cage performances. I think he's underrated doing comedy. I mean, I know he's known for his eccentric behavior with most of his action films, but this right here, and it sucks that this film just barely got overlooked. Because this film here is an Oscar-worthy performance of Nick Cage. I prefer this performance over than I know this is a completely different film. I know who was in that film Long Live, but I can't watch that movie anymore. But this film here, no doubt, is one of my favorite performances of his. And the movie ended. I wanted to rewatch it immediately right after the movie was over. That's how good this movie was, and I think this is actually one of the best comedies that A24 has produced. And movies like this need to be pushed out, even though it might not be for everybody, but this is an original piece that you must check out. Dream Scenario. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have. And please go watch this movie, man, because if you haven't seen it yet on Tubi, it was free, but regardless where it's at, go watch this movie. You need to check it out. Dream Scenario. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie, y'all.